Hey guys, welcome back to Amanda's Favorites. Today's video is the Simplified Planner, their 2019-2020 launch. So it is their academic year planner, which starts in August of 2019 and goes through July of 2020. They will have these exact same covers and exact same planners relaunched for the calendar year. That will be at the very beginning of September. What I want to do today is run through the planners I got at launch, to show you the pen test, and then run through the weekly and the daily and do a comparison on those. I will also show you like the notebooks that I got at launch and their new page markers. I'm not going to go into the accessories, all her accessories that I already have. That would make this video really long. I have a separate video from last year of all the accessories that I got, and I will link that down below. And then I might do an updated accessories video in a couple weeks, and if I do get that done, I will also link that down below. Let's jump in here. First, let's go to the pen test, because this is one of the most asked questions. She uses 70-pound Mohawk via paper. It is really nice paper. It feels very nice in hand. It is bright white. It feels thick. It feels luxurious to write on. It is not slick at all. I really do like her paper. I want to give you a close-up here of all the pens that I used. I used all my normal pens that I use on pen test, but I even used a fountain pen. I used my mild liner highlighter. One of my favorite pens on her planner paper is the Uniball Signo DX 0.38. All these Pilot Precise colors are actually Emily Lay's Pilot Precise V5 pen pack. So those are her actual colors right there. And that is her pen pack. And if I do another accessories video, I will go into this, but I went into it in my accessories video last year, which I will link down below. Let's take a look at the pen test from the back. This is what your page looks like from the back then when you've written on a whole page, almost full of writing and lots of colors on there. I feel like the 70-pound paper takes the pen really well. I don't see major ghosting, and even the fountain pen did not bleed through. Now, it kind of shows through, but even the fountain pen did not bleed through. I'm a big fan of her paper. She really can't go thicker than 70-pound in this daily planner, or the planner would just get thicker and heavier. So as you can see, this daily planner, you know, it's already pretty thick. That's why the 70-pound paper is a good mark to stop at for a daily planner, because it not only increases the thickness, but it increases the weight of the planner. First, we're going to run through the daily, and then we're going to run through the weekly, in case you're having a hard time deciding, or you might be someone that uses a daily and a weekly together in conjunction like I do. Now, I don't use both Simplified. I actually mix my brands. I have a planning updates playlist where I give quarterly updates on how I'm planning. If you're interested in that, I will link that down below also if you want to see how I personally plan. This is my 5th year to use a Simplified daily planner. I really have used it for most of my daily planning for the last 4 years. I did get 2 covers. Right here, I got the Navy Blooms and the Garden Party in the daily, and that's because just running this channel and my Instagram account, it's nice to have a daily that I don't put all my personal information in, that sometimes I can share on Instagram. It's nice to have one kept up here in my office for when I'm doing shares or answering questions, because I really do use my daily. I haven't decided which one I'm going to use yet and which one's going to be my extra that sits in my office, because I really thought it was going to be Garden Party that I was going to use, but Navy Blooms is looking way more beautiful in person than I anticipated, so I have not made that decision yet. But considering it doesn't start until August, I think I have plenty of time to decide. The weekly planner is something that I've always played around with. I've used for different purposes. I've kind of journaled in it. I've kind of only used the monthly up kind of by my bedside. I've done kind of different things with it. I'll show you mine from last year when it's all written in, what it looks like, but I've never actually used it for my weekly planning. It's just not quite big enough for me for my weekly planning. So we'll get into that when we go through the weekly. Right now, let's run through the daily first, and I will take you through, let's do the notebooks before I forget. Also, so many people have the questions of which notebook looks the best. with which cover. Many people either like to keep their notebook in the pocket up here, right here. Your notebook can't fit. It's kind of a tight fit, and then you can't really put anything else in the pocket. I personally don't love to keep my mini notebook in there because I can feel the bump when I'm writing. If it's anywhere in the first half of my book, I feel that bump in there. I don't personally like to keep my mini notebook in here. If you are using exclusively only this planner, you know, and you're out of the house, you probably do want a mini notebook because it only comes with 4 note pages. So 2 pages front and back, and I will show you those. And that's a new addition this year. The daily comes with 4 note pages, and that is it. 1, 2, 3, 4. If you need more places for notes, this is a really nice notebook. Thick paper, not the exact same paper that's in here, but really nice paper. Just gray lines, a little pineapple down there at the bottom, and it is a stapled notebook. It has a cover that's coated that you can feel like water will probably repel off of. And it's just a beautiful notebook and makes a beautiful gift, in my opinion. I actually have a happy stripe one in my purse right now, and you have the little Simplified on the back. So another way to carry these is with her planner bands. Make sure you order the daily or the weekly based on which size you get, because they are different sizes. But they hook on very well with the planner band. If you're someone that needs to transport your Simplified planner around, that works perfectly. It holds it in. It does not fall out at all. You could throw it in a bag like this. It really does grip it. That is a perfect solution if you want to carry a notebook around with you with your planner. That's what the band looks like without the notebook. It just has a little pineapple on there. They come in sets of 2, and like I said, they're 2 sizes, daily and weekly. I will just show you a couple notebook options against the garden party since people are interested in that, but I have shown this a lot on my Instagram. So there are some posts of videos living on my Instagram, and then I've done a lot in stories too. That's where I check in daily. I'm constantly showing my planning daily. We have a really great community there. We talk about all the planner problems together and try to solve them all together. So here's Happy Stripe with the floral. I think that looks really pretty, putting the stripes with the floral. I also think her blue pen stripe with the garden party looks great. If you wanted a floral on floral, I even think you could do navy blooms on the garden party. Then you have a pink pineapple, which is a possibility too. And I mean, I wouldn't think the mint tile, I wouldn't really pair that with garden party, but you know, to each their own. The mint tile is beautiful though. Some of her notebooks, which were still left on her site when I checked from last year's launch, that would look really good. I love the navy dot, pairing something like that with the garden party. I also love the thin Happy Stripe left from last year. Even her white pineapple, I haven't opened that one yet, but I think that would look beautiful with it. So there are some notebook options from last year also. These mini notebooks are $10 each, and it is a fun way to collect all her covers. Here, we'll go through each cover for this year in case you're not familiar. It's a great way to collect all her covers because obviously we can only get one planner. I mean, normally I would only get one planner if I wasn't running this channel. I am lucky because you guys using my referral link, I'm able to purchase all this with my referral credits. So thank you so much. My referral link is down below in the description box. And if it is your first order with Simplified, you get $10 off your first order. And I also get a $10 credit. So it's a win-win to me. Thank you so much for using my referral link. Don't forget, because it can only be used on your first Simplified order of $50 or more. I also have an affiliate link down there. And I would love it if you're just making a purchase through Simplified. It doesn't matter if it's your first order or not. If you purchase through my affiliate link, I get credit for it and earn a small percentage of the sale. And that is a great help to me. So I appreciate that so much. And I always disclose down there, it says affiliate link. You always know when links are affiliate links from me. Thanks so much for the support, you guys, because making these videos is work. And I love to put this out there for you. I love to help you guys make the best decision and not waste your money. Okay, here are all of Simplified's covers for the 2019-2020 year. And like I said, these covers will not be changing for the 2020 calendar year release. They stay exactly the same. These are the covers for the calendar year release also. Navy blooms. There is some metallic gold in the navy blooms. Blue pen stripe. Then we have our classic Happy Stripe, which she makes every single year. That never changes. Mint tile, which, I think it's beautiful. There's that metallic in there. It just reminds me of clean, fresh, the beach. I love it. Pink pineapple. So last year there was like a mint blue pineapple. This year there is a pink pineapple, and there is a lot of metallic on there. It's a fun, beachy looking cover too, to me. And this is Garden Party. Garden Party and Navy Blooms were painted by Jessa, who is an employee there. She painted these. I think that is amazing. So they're custom designed by her, and they are beautiful. Those are her 6 covers for this year. And the only cover that gets repeated every year is Happy Stripe. Then every year they have new covers. They didn't do 6 covers until last year. They used to have 4. And then this year they did 6 again. So I'm guessing they're going to stay with 6. Let's do our full walkthrough of the daily now. This is a full year of planning of daily pages from August 2019 all the way through the end of July 2020. When you first open your book, first let me address the ring question. I have never had problems. Like I said, this is my 5th simplified planner to use, and I have never had problems with the rings at all. Some O-rings do give people problems. The simplified planner has never given me any problems. I always keep it flipped open to the day that I'm on, and then when I need to flip, I always end up just picking it up by a ring and flipping it on my table, and I never have trouble with that ring, and I almost always end up flipping it from the same ring. I personally have never had trouble with my simplified planner rings. Everything slides really easily on them. And I have even seen one of my friends on Instagram, Katie K Plans. She has changed out her cover when she's wanted to use like her same cover from another year, or like this year she wanted to start her planner early. She shows you on her Instagram how she easily pries open these O-rings and then pushes them back once she changes out her pages and cover, and she hasn't had any problems with it. So that's pretty amazing. Your simplified planner covers are very hard chipboard. They give you a hard writing surface to walk around on if you're not sitting down. You have that pocket up here, which I told you about. Like I said, I don't love to store my notebook in there, so that's not something I've done. So I cannot attest to how it holds up with storing a notebook in there. Now, I have always kept her color coding dot stickers. I've kept a sheet of them. These sheets fit perfectly in here. And that's pretty much what I keep in here, like a piece of lightweight paper to take notes on, and these color coding dot stickers. I don't actually use them for color coding, but I do use them to mark appointments. I just pretty much match the color to the color of the day. So if the day is light pink and I have an appointment that day, I put it next to the appointment. It just helps them stand out. And also on the monthly, I put them next to timed appointments, and I just match the color to the month. So I don't use them for color coding, but I use them for that. I will try to show you my planner at the end using these. I'm not a huge sticker person, but I really like these. They're simple to use and keep in the front of my planner, and they do just make appointments stand out. So these are one of my favorite accessories from Simplified, these color coding dots. Your Simplified planner, both the weekly and the daily, come with one sheet of their stickers, which are just really cute in their happy stripe colors. If you're a sticker person, you get one sheet of stickers in your planner. They also sell many other sticker configurations. Then you go into your nameplate page, and you have a little letter from Emily, and then you go into the process of simplifying and how to use your simplified planner. Now, this section has kind of even been simplified from last year, and I really like that. The calendar is now all on one page. So it's your academic year just starting in August and 12 months from there. Then all your holidays are on one page also. I really appreciate this. I usually go through and highlight the holidays that fall on like a different day every year. This section at the beginning, like preparing for a new year, ideas for new routines, this has even been simplified from last year. Now, this is a discussion we've been having on my Instagram recently. Do not let any planner scare you away from if you feel like you don't want to fill out the beginning pages. Now, Simplified Planner is actually really simplified, just like the name. And they do not have complicated pages. They don't have these big goal setting sections, none of that. But even if you don't want to fill out these few pages at the beginning, do not feel like you're wasting pages in your planner. Make the planner work for you. I have actually never fully filled out these pages. I already have routines going in my life. I do think it's a great idea to reevaluate your routines every year, but I just don't choose to do it in here for some reason. But I think she takes you through a good process, and it really is simplified. But do not feel like you have to use them. It's just like what worked last year, what didn't work last year, ideas for new routines and healthy habits. And here, ideas for new routines, kind of how you want your week to flow, Mondays through Sundays. And then morning routine, evening routine. They print their Simplicity challenge in here for you. And what that is it's actually a 30-day challenge toward achieving a simpler, more joyful life. Each task is supposed to only take you less than 15 minutes, and you're supposed to pick a 30-day period to do each one of these tasks. They're things like walk through your home with a trash bag or 5, be ruthless, get papers, receipts, tags, empty bottles, go. So you're supposed to spend like 15 minutes a day doing all those. Number one, you don't have to do 30 days in a row. You could pick and do one a week and they'd be done in 30 weeks. Or you cannot do it at all. Or you can just pick and choose throughout the year when you have extra time and you want to pick one and check it off. I think there are some great ideas. If you want to go through there and just highlight ones that apply to you that you want to do, use it however it applies to you. Then you have my yearly bucket list, which I always like these. You can either plan it out, as a bucket list you want to do from the beginning, or something I actually like to do is as we do really fun activities and I want to remember them, I'll write them down and write the date down and do it that way. Then the new pages added to the daily this year are 4 notes pages. I am so excited to have these in here. Until now, there had been no notes pages in the Simplified. So you can see right here, it just says notes in a really light pink writing on your notes page, and you have 4 total lined note pages, and then you go straight into August. Your monthly tab is hooked onto the month it's on, and these tabs hold up really well. Like I said, I've used her planner for 4 years, and I've never had a tab problem. Her monthly layout is just streamlined. There's not a lot of stuff on the page. I like that. Each month's color matches the color of the tab. Now, if you buy a January through December calendar year, January is going to be this navy color, and then it's going to run in that order. You have a notes section with some light gray lines. Each month you have a simplicity tip if you want to take advantage of that and get something done in your house. You have a last month's view and your next month's view coming up right here at the top. And then you go straight into your daily pages for that month. Now, if you're not familiar with Simplified, each day of the week is assigned a color and it stays that same way all throughout your whole planner. So your mind kind of starts to memorize what color goes with what day of the week. And it just helps you know by glancing at it. Like Wednesdays are light aqua, Thursdays are Kelly green, Fridays they changed back to yellow this year. So there's a story on this. They had been yellow until last year. They had been yellow, but they printed really light. This is a darker yellow, and people complained about that. So last year they changed it to orange. A lot of people didn't like that because orange is not a happy stripe color. So this year they changed it back to yellow, and it's kind of a darker yellow, and it's not too light in my opinion at all. And I really like it since it goes back with the happy stripe now, and they fixed the problem of being too light. That is a change they've made back to this year. Fridays are yellow, Saturdays are light pink, Sundays are hot pink, Mondays are navy blue, Tuesdays are dark aqua or dark turquoise, I would say, and then you go back to the light aqua on Wednesday. So that's how the colors rotate. Let's go through the page layout now. Your page is simple for a reason. It goes with the name of the planner and the mission of the planner. You can see up here you have a big blank header. So you can use that for anything you want. Something you need to remember that day, somebody's birthday that day, anything big happening, you can put there or leave it blank. You have a My Day side and a To Do side. The words My Day and To Do are written in the same color as your day right there. And your notes is written in the same color as the day. I really like that attention to detail, how those colors and those words match your daily color, and everything else on the page is a light gray. So you have your timed schedule under My Day from 6 a.m. to 9 p.m. Then you have your to-do tick-off box list over here. If you have a half-hour appointment, of course, you can just write it in, like write in 6:30 and then the appointment name. Or if you have 2 appointments on a 6 and 6:30, you can use like half your line if you want to do it that way and just draw like a dividing line right there. That's just an idea. A lot of times I make just 2 lists if I don't have any appointments that day because of the way my life is. I've seen people use it in many different ways. I've seen people make like a work to-do list over here if they don't have, like a lot of appointments during the day. If you had appointments, you could note them down here. They make a work to-do list and a home to-do list. So use the page however it works for you. Don't feel like you have to use it in the way that it's laid out. Make the planner work for you. You have a huge note section down here, which I love, and I always fill up with notes. If I'm on a phone call with a doctor or something else I need to remember to do, I always fill that in down here. Something to note is your to-do side is a little bit thinner, a little bit less width than your appointment side. Your appointment side, you have a little bit more writing room because I have measured that. It's not a huge difference, but it's a little bit more. Here is something else before I forget. Her page markers also come in all her patterns. Some people like to use the page markers in here. Personally, my planner is always open and I don't use the page markers in here because it does take up kind of a big amount of your writing room. And my planner is always open to the day. So people have asked me, what do you use these beautiful page markers for? Well, I actually use them in real books, in books that I read, just novels, or self-help books, whatever I'm reading. I like to use these for bookmarks. They're really pretty. They also come in beautiful packaging, so they make a great gift. You can throw them in an envelope like a birthday card for someone or a teacher gift. It makes a great thing to throw in. It's just a beautiful page marker. Like I said, anyone that reads can use it for a bookmark. So that's how I personally use mine. But of course, you always have the option to use it on your daily pages. You could even stick it down there like that, and it looks really beautiful. It's thin, and yet you can find your page easily with it. One thing I do always like to remember to mention with the Simplified Planner is that if you don't like using a magnet page marker and you want a ruler that snaps in, my favorite O-ring ruler is from Get to Workbook. I will link it down below in the description. So Get to Workbook is another planner company. But I've tried a lot of different O-ring rulers because they come with many different planner company planners. This ruler does not come with her planner. I believe it's $4 or somewhere around there, but it really is the best O-ring ruler. It fits the Simplified Planner perfectly too. It snaps in so easily and snaps out so easily, but is very secure. It's clear. It also acts as a ruler and has the real markers on it from 0 to 6 inches. And if you want to be able to find your page easily where you are, if you're someone who shuts your planner and does tote it around with you, you can see that today right there. You just swing to it and it opens right on your day. So that is my favorite O-ring ruler. It functions perfectly and it's also the perfect height for the Simplified Planner. If you want an O-ring ruler, Simplified does not sell one. So that is your basic page layout. When you get to the weekends, you do share a page with Saturday and Sunday. What that means also with the way the pages go is Saturday and Sunday always end up on your right side right here. So they always end up together. Monday is always on your left. Tuesday is always on your right. So all the pages always stay on the same side that way. And then Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. See what I'm saying? You do share your page here. You have no timed slots put in for your weekends. You just have my day and to do tick boxes. You have a big space left for Sunday, a happy memory from this week. If you want to use that space to fill in a happy memory from the week. On Sunday, you do have her Sunday prep here taking up half your space of tick boxes. I think her Sunday prep tasks are great tasks. I just would rather have blank lines there myself. I don't really write in my prep tasks. I do usually do like prep tasks on Sunday, but I don't need them written in here for me. And I would just like more blank lines. That's just me personally, but I know some people love the prep. I think it's whenever it's mentioned, there's like a debate, like half and half. I don't know how it comes out. There's definitely both sides to that. I'd love to know what you think about it down in the comments. I'd love to know what you think about that since we've talked about it on my Instagram before. I think I've even run a poll on my Instagram stories before about that. Your tabs are in happy stripe color and just repeating. So you have navy, dark teal, the Kelly green, yellow, light pink, hot pink, and then back to navy, just like her days of the week repeat. Those are your happy stripe colors. And then you go all the way to the end. There's no more note pages at the end. That is the end of your book. It ends August 2nd, 2020. And that is it. Let's get into the weekly next. So if you're trying to debate between a daily and a weekly, I would say, are you someone who wants a full clean page every day? Do you want a full page to write on? As long as you don't feel like you have to fill up that page every day, then I personally, like I said, I use a weekly ERIN CONDREN to look at my whole week and that stays laid out on my kitchen desk like all the time. But my daily goes around the house with me and is like where I scribble all my notes and put all my lists, because I like to see my week at a glance, but then I need my daily every day for just my notes and to-dos and things like that. I don't have a lot of appointments. I do have appointments, but not a lot. So like I said, sometimes I even write my appointments up here, and then I have both of these free as 2 columns for different lists. Or sometimes I even like to write longhand and use the lines all the way across. I follow no rules with my planners. I use them however I feel like that it works the best for me. But if you are someone who doesn't feel like you need a whole page per day, or that's intimidating to you, you don't even want to have a whole page per day, or you want to have a smaller, more compact book, look how small and compact the weekly is. The size, you can tell, you take off the whole coil plus some on the edge and the top right here. Her dimensions are on her website. I will try to remember to put those here in the video. I believe that the cover on this one is 7x9, but if you look at this, you can tell. I mean, look at the side view. It is a huge difference on the weight on these and just the compact feeling that you get from the weekly. So if you need a more compact book and you want something that's a little bit easier to throw in a bag, then the weekly is probably your answer. It comes with 1 ribbon page marker, which I love and find perfect, because you put it on the week that you're on. Your months are marked by these stair step tabs, which work and function wonderfully too. Let's start from the beginning of your weekly. The weekly does lay completely flat. You might have to massage your pages right at the beginning, but it really does lay completely flat and stay there. Here is your sticker sheet that comes with your weekly. It is your same sticker sheet that is in the daily. Mine was just a little stuck in there from shipping. It's the same one that comes in your daily, but it's a little bit smaller. So the stickers are scaled down for the size of the planner. So you get a sticker sheet with your weekly and a pocket. The mini notebook does not fit in your weekly pocket. There's no pocket at the back, and both books are navy on the end pages of both covers. There is a different color ribbon page marker for each book. Navy is just the garden party color. So each book has a different color page marker. You can see that on their site. You're going to have the same pages in your weekly up here. So you have your nameplate page, you have your letter from Emily, the process of simplifying, how to use your simplified planner, your year at a glance, your holiday list, and then the same preparing for a new year, ideas for new routines, the simplicity challenge, my yearly bucket list. Then you have 4 new note pages added to the beginning of the weekly. And then at the back of the weekly, you actually have 27, I think they said, note pages at the back. These are all lined note pages at the back of your weekly with that same notes written in pink. So you have a lot more note pages in the weekly than the daily. Your months are going in the same color. Your months sizes. What's interesting is you're not losing much size on your monthly boxes with the weekly versus the daily. If you look at it, I've measured it and it's a really, really minimal size difference. The pages aren't that much smaller. You're not losing that much in the bulk of your book. You're losing a little bit of header space, so you have a bigger header up here. If you look at that, your boxes aren't that much smaller. I feel like these boxes are still big enough to write a good amount of information in. I will show you my used one really quick from last year. Like I said, I used this for a lot of monthly planning last year, so you can see a lot of my months written in. I kept this up on my dresser, just right near my nightstand, the lower dresser that I could write on. And it was kind of just like a good way to glance at what was the next day or what happened that day. It kind of became just helpful to be up in my bedroom there, where I didn't usually have a planner and they usually stayed downstairs for the night. That's how my months looked. And I loved to just, let's see if I can find one that's neat enough, use a color per month and use my ERIN CONDREN dual tip markers and kind of mark off things. I used a few stickers, and these stair step tabs are really helpful. Let's look at your weekly layout though. I will show you a few weeks where I filled in some things in here, just so you can see kind of how a week looks filled in, and also kind of how it looks with pen written all over it. I did use this off and on for different purposes, but it was never my main weekly planner. I mainly used the months in here. So you'll see there's a lot of blank weeks in here. Near the front, there's my pen test. I did not do another pen test in this new weekly since I did it in the daily for this year and since I had it in this weekly. But this is what, when you turn it and you look and see all your pen, that's what it looks like. There is not a huge amount of ghosting. It is the same 70-pound paper in both the weekly and the daily. You have the same Mohawk via 70-pound paper. Now that we have this one out, let's compare and let me show you what changed in the weekly. So we changed the Friday to yellow. Let's go to a weekly view here. We changed the Friday to yellow right there. And then, as you'll notice, the meal box was taken out, the dinner box, which I love. They simplified it. So even if you want to write your dinner in every day, you can write it down here on the last line, but we gained 3 more lines. 3 more lines fit in that space that the box took, and the blank space around it. So we gained 3 more lines. I personally am so happy about that, especially for Sunday, because if you look on Sunday with the meal box and the weekly prep, you only had 3 lines to write on last year. Well, this year, since they took out the meal box, they bumped down the Sunday prep, then you have 5 lines to write on. That's better to me. That's another reason why I couldn't just only use this for my weekly planning, is because that's a very small space for Sunday. Even if I was just using it for journaling, I really would love my whole space there. All right, so those are the differences from last year to this year, and kind of you got a look into mine with a little bit used. So let's look at the weekly layout. If you just massage your book a little bit, I haven't even opened this one yet. It will stay open, I promise you, because I leave mine open on my dresser when I was using it just for the monthly views, and it stayed open after you got to massage it a little bit, lay another book on it for just a little bit, and it will stay open. Even when you go into the middle of your book, it really will learn to stay open as you use it. The binding is meant to be a lay open flat binding. So let's look at holidays, how holidays are written, because I didn't mention this. I will show you it in the daily. They are written in the same color as the day, and they are written up there by the day. So if you have a holiday that is noted in there, it is also noted on your monthly view in a light gray, and like daylight savings time. That is noted on your monthly view also in a light gray. On your stair step tabs, just so you know, the day of the month, your stair step tab is on there, and then it also shows on the back of that day for that week, which doesn't bother me at all. I just want you guys to see that. And your pages do stair step. So as you go further back, of course, each stair step tab gets bigger. You start out smaller. So that's the way it goes. Your week is laid out in a horizontal layout where if you want to divide it this way, you can. Timed appointments to go on the left and tasks with the tick off circles on the right. But you do not have to use it that way. It could be work and home. It could be 2 different task lists. So, of course, use it however it works best for you. There are actually 10 tick off tasks right there and 10 lines for you, except on Sunday, there are 5 lines. And then your Sunday prep, which is the same thing in your weekly and in your daily. It's plan meals for the week ahead, tidy up for a clean slate on Monday, write tasks, appointments for the week, and fill your tank, enjoy what matters most. And I don't argue that those are good things to do. I just want my full lines. And then if you want to do those particular things, you could write them in. That's just me. I know some people love them, and I'm probably going to hear about it down in the comment section. I would really actually love to hear your stance on that, whether you use a simplified planner or not, but especially if you have used one. Then you have your 27 note pages, and that's it. The simplified planner paper smells good. It really does. Feels good. And with those stair step tabs, look, nothing is sticking out of your book. It's a really great design, in my opinion. The book feels good in hand and looks beautiful and is easy to carry and throw in your bag. You can buy a weekly band. I have the weekly bands, but I didn't bring them over here. This is a daily. Now, we'll go back into the daily and I will show you holidays real quick and my old daily. And then we will be done, you guys. I realize this is long and I didn't even show you accessories. And that's why I said, check out my accessories video from last year because most of them are all the same as this year. But how the holidays are noted, let's find a month with a holiday for sure. Here is Thanksgiving Day. So on the day of your holiday, you have it written in whatever color that day is. It matches that day and it's written right there at the top in kind of your banner space up there. I don't know what I called that before, and now I'm calling it something else. Your page header. It's written up in your page header space. And on your monthly layout, it is exactly the same as in your weekly. It is written in a very light gray at the bottom of the day. That's how your holidays are noted. I thought that I mentioned how much I used my simplified planner, and if you're not on Instagram, then you haven't seen mine. If you're on Instagram, you've already seen all this. But I thought I would just flip through mine from this last year. I usually keep all my ink the same color. I started in blue and then I switched to black. I do use mild liners in mine, and I make all kinds of notes on my page. So as you can see, my Simplified planners get well used. I absolutely love them. And anytime that I have switched out, if you follow me on Instagram, you'll know this too, to another daily planner, I always end up back in my Simplified before long. So I do have access to a lot of other planners, and I don't usually switch out my weekly because it messes up all my planning. But my daily, since I just come in and plan that day, here's how I use those dot stickers. As you can tell, timed appointments, I stuck those on those days. And let me find a month where you can see all my dot stickers, those timed important appointments. They stand out that way. And I just matched it to the color of the month. And this is what my days end up looking like in my Simplified. But as you can tell, that day I just wanted a lot of things to stand out. Those weren't timed appointments. Mine gets well used, all written in, all scratched out. There's no right or wrong way to use it. If you scroll Instagram looking for the hashtag Simplified Planner, you're going to see a lot of beautifully curated planners. Don't feel like you have to use your planner that way. I mean, if that's your thing, then do it. Go for it. But I just want you to see that you can use a Simplified planner without it looking so perfectly curated, and it can serve you in your life just as well. And you can get just as much joy from it, even if it doesn't look beautiful. Because this is my real life, and my planners are not like my hobby to decorate. I know some people's are, and that's great. This is where I switched out of this one into the next one. So I have been switching mine every time a new one comes out. Calendar year and academic year, I just switch with each new launch. And then, I know, so I only use it for half a year. I'm just lucky because I run this channel, and so I have my referral credits, and that's the only way I can do that. But then I use the back pages for just notes. And I was using it to show things on my channel, but now I've bought 2 different ones to be able to show it on Instagram. Then I use the back pages for notes, and then I just switch every 6 months. But that's what mine ends up looking like. Used. Oh, I loved this Thin Happy Stripe from last year. It was a throwback cover that they brought back. So I'm a big fan of Simplified, as you can tell, and I would love it if you have any questions, throw them in down below. I'm happy to answer any of those questions. Thanks for watching, guys, and sticking with me through this long video. Have a great night and happy planning.